It's draft season. It's draft season, and we still coming through with original content. Okay, last week, my favorite week, Ryan Roberts came in. He was talking, all of the analyses, everything about players that we have been talking about, players that we haven't been talking about. But let's now turn that discussion into relevant players. What do I mean by that? We're talking about the players that the New York Jets actually met with, right? We can fall in love with all these players, oh, I like this, I like that. But if they don't become Jets, we're not going to be talking about them much longer after that. So let's actually talk about the people that the Jets have met with, get their opinions, and kind of dissect who are the most intriguing of that list. All right? It's time to discuss. We are live. Boy Green meets Wudi.
Can you guys help us get a Jet chant here? Yeah, going.
Oh.
Okay, right, yeah. Come on in. Yeah.
Okay, let's go! J-E-T-S, Jets! Let's go! J-E-T-S, Jets! Let's go!
Third Party Thursday.
Chris joining us here on the program with a capital P here on the program.
Jake Asman, come on down. How you doing, good sir?
Wow, what an intro. I mean, the boy Green is known for having the intro, but Wudi, that was unreal, man. Thanks for the kind words, son.
We are men of many names.
My favorite Austrian Jets fan right there, baby.
Boy Green
Meets Wudi. Welcome to another episode of Boy Green Meets Wudi. It is your boy James Wudi, and you already know we are Wudi, rocking everywhere. Right there, my guy who is rocking for real. He is the boy who became king, none other than Mr. Paul Esden Jr. in the building. LeBron James over there with it. And this is a really, really exciting show. And I just want to say, first off, right off the bat, shout out to Dom C. I mean, without him, I'm not sure if we can do this show, but he has put in the work, he has put in the time, put in that dedication, and because of that, the fruits of his labor, we eating off those fruits right now and able to produce this show. Boy Green, talk to me. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing amazing, and thank you for shouting out Dom C right off the top. If you guys are watching here on YouTube, we're streaming in a lot of different places: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. On My Boy Green YouTube channel, you can find the direct link to Dom C's work. He essentially has a Google Doc that's open to the public, and you guys can see it, and he has tracked every official visit for all the college football players of the Jets. We're talking 30 visits, Shrine Bowl, Senior Bowl, private workouts, anything that has been sort of, quote unquote, reported on social media or that Dom C has reported himself are on this list. And it's fascinating, and you guys will see it with this list of like, whoa, they met with this Cincinnati linebacker 5 times. Wow, interesting. Now, it doesn't always mean interest, right? Just because they met with someone this many times. A couple of draft analysts were tweeting this out today, that players that have more visits are the ones that, quite frankly, have more questions. That's why you have to meet with them so many times to get things cleared up, personal, professional, whatever the case is. But still, it's a very fascinating process. So Wudi calls last week's show his favorite shows of the year with Ryan Roberts. And you can understand why. Ryan is a absolute fountain of knowledge on every prospect. I bring up, hey, the backup punter for San Diego Technical Institute. He's like, let me tell you something, brother. And I'm like, oh, all right. Okay. He's got some intel. All right. Well, I think this is my second favorite show of the year, where we're not speculating anymore. It's not, Woody, what's the 5 you want or the 5 you want, Paul? Like, these are guys they've met with at least once, if not multiple times. We'll talk about that as you go through each player. So absolute salute to Dom C. We're 9 days away from the NFL draft, so I can't wait to dive in. We're each going to go through a top 5. We'll tell you, according to Dom C's reporting and his Google Doc, which again is linked in the YouTube and also on Twitter. It's a direct link down below. Massive shout out to Dom C, who's doing absolute God's work here. We will let you know who they met with and how many times as we go through the list and give you the latest information. And also shout out to Dane Brugler of The Beast. The latest Beast is out. There's all kinds of fun information you guys will be able to learn on all the players. Woody, before we go on, and we have a long show, so I don't want to waste too much time, but I saw Badshaw asking about it. Unfortunately, my brother Brody's in the hospital, and I shared it earlier today. There's some very serious stuff going on. I do not have an update. I appreciate all the prayers that are out there in the universe about the situation. I'm pretty beat up about it, but we all just got to truck along, and hopefully more good news to come. So your prayers are welcomed for my brother Brody, and hopefully we'll have good things to share in the future. But right now he's in the hospital, and I have absolutely no update beyond that whatsoever, Badshaw. So thank you, everybody, for sending in the prayers, and we'll see what happens. I have no idea. I learned about this last night, and hopefully good things to come. But Woody, there's no way to transition from that to, hey, by the way, that Tennessee linebacker. But yeah, so some very serious stuff going on in the Boy Green universe.
Yes, absolutely. Shout out. Praying for Brody. Definitely sorry to hear that. And again, you already saw Badshaw. Shout out Badshaw. Name that I haven't seen in the Boy Green Meets Woody chat in a little bit. Shout out to our guy. Yeah, we all thinking about you. We all love you and love the fam. So hopefully, we can get that positive update soon.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that's one of your favorite brothers because, as we're brothers, I mean, there's just a brother explosion. I've got Nick, you, Brody. I mean, yeah. There's a lot going on. Speaking of pause, I reshared out a Judy Batista clip. She joined me like last week or 2 weeks ago, and I had a separate question planned for later in the interview, but as soon as I brought up the name, it was over. I brought up Garrett Wilson, and she went, "Oh my God, can we get him the freaking football?" And she's like going crazy, saying like, "Geez, Lou, like, good Lord have mercy. Like, can we get him the football?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, for the love of God, can we?" And she's like, "Man, you know what? I just love this Garrett Wilson guy. I think I can speak for everybody. We all want to see him explode." And I was just like, So anywho, shout out to Judy Batista.
Yes, shout out, and yeah, we love Garrett. I'm sure plenty of fans love him in that way as well. But
sure,
for me,
nothing wrong with that. Sure,
not at all. But yeah, so definitely expecting a great season on field for our guy.
All right, and random one other question to answer on our party. Will there be a Survivor recap show next week? Yes. That'll be on Wednesday night. Boy Green is traveling to the draft on Thursday morning. So we'll figure out whatever the hell that's going to mean for Boy Green Meets Woody. So that's very much TBD. I will be traveling on Thursday, and it's a draft, and there's a lot of hoopla going on. So TBD on that. But the Survivor recap show, yes, I will still be here in Oswego. I plan on leaving super early on Thursday morning. We'll have some form of Boy Green Daily available for you guys on Thursday. Maybe a pre-recorded episode. We'll see. Maybe we'll be live on the road. I have no idea. I guess we'll see what happens. But Survivor, yes, that will be here. Tuesday, a week from tomorrow. So yes, we will have a Wednesday recap show. Yes, sir. All right. What are you ready?
Yeah. I think I am. I got my list of 5. I'm checking it twice.
Okay.
We're gonna see who's naughty or nice. We'll see if there's any crossover. In typical.
Do you think there will be? Wait, let me see. I don't think he. Yeah, he definitely doesn't. Oh, he does sort of have it numbered. So let me see. There is.
Oh, he does. Yeah.
I just have to count out. There's 66 players because I have to count out the intro tab. Doesn't count. So 66 players. So just to explain to everybody, repeat it one more time. So Dom C, draft analyst, does great work on his channel. Go check him out. Project Prospect. So he's been keeping track of all the players and prospects the Jets have met with this entire offseason. Again, Senior Bowl, Shrine Bowl, Combine. And if it's been multiple times and it's all checked off, it's a beautiful graphic and a doc. And there's 66 players he has tracked that has met with the Jets at least once and some of them multiple times, as we'll get into here on the show. Me and Wudi looked at that list of guys they have actually met with and actually talked with and picked the 5 most intriguing. And intriguing is subjective. It can be intriguing for a variety of reasons, which we'll explain here on the list. So, yeah, will there be any crossover with 66 names? And we each pick 5. Maybe. So we didn't talk before this, so I have no idea. So I will be interested to see what that is. So, Wudi, do you want to go first or second? What position do you prefer?
Hey, yo.
Damn, I just can't even get out of my own way today.
I'll go first. You probably have a more fan-friendly number 1 than me, so we'll end on your cute little bow.
I don't think so, but
damn! Oh no, damn!
So I will be honest. Let me see. Okay, none of the players on my list are a first-round pick. None of the players on my list, I think, are a second-round pick.
Oh my!
So we will see.
Yeah, all right, so you get it started with your little no name. Get it started.
A no name. Oh, how offensive! But all right, I'll try to do the best I can. Yeah. So I intriguing to me for whatever reason that it was. So okay, it sounds like we're gonna have very different lists. So great. That's good for the fans. All right, let's hit it.
Number 5.
I'm gonna go 5-1 here on the list, and this is a guy that someone put on my radar because the Jets had him in for a 30 visit. And for people that don't know, and I'll read you all the other ones here in a second, the 30 visit, you only get 30 of them for outside prospects. If you're within a certain range, I don't know the mileage off the top of my head, but something like if you're within 50 miles of the facility or something, the Jets can have 1 million of those. There's no limit to how many times you can have, like Rutgers, Syracuse, there's a few others where you can meet with them like a cajillion times and it doesn't matter. However, for people that are like the Jets facilities in New Jersey, for Georgia, you can only get 30 Georgia guys. So it's 30 totality. So you have to split it up yourself, figuring out. So let me do this first and make sure I read all the different places this guy was here. They've met with him 1, 2, 3 times. 3 times. Okay, let me read all the 3 real quick. This is Cincinnati wide receiver Cyrus Allen. Okay, Cyrus Allen, who is 23 years old. He's 5'11" and 183 pounds. So let me get all of them here. They met with him for a top 30 visit, which I just told you. That was something that happened there with Cyrus. They also met with him at the NFL Scouting Combine. So they got Cyrus Allen there for a combine meeting as well. And then finally, they also got him for a 3rd visit, and that was a meeting at the Senior Bowl. So they met with him at the Combine Senior Bowl and then brought him in for a 30 visit. So this is sort of the details on him. Cyrus Allen, by the way, according to the Beast, and I'll give this for everybody on here, he grades as a 5th or 6th round pick, so he's expected to be a day 3 prospect. He's born in New Orleans. Again, he's 23 years old, and he's a 4th-year senior. And what people say is that he's one of the best route runners in the draft. I've heard that from some experts out there who really like what they saw on tape. And he sort of has had an inconsistent run collegiately speaking. He was sort of a traveling man. His first 2 years were at Louisiana Tech. 2024 is at Texas A&M. And then Cincinnati was his most recent stop. And he put up some intriguing numbers. So last year he had a career high 13 touchdowns, which is phenomenal. He averaged 13 point yards per catch. He had over 600 receiving yards on 51 catches. But his best receiving yard season actually came in his 2nd year at Louisiana Tech. He had 778 receiving yards, but the 13 touchdowns. Well, think about it this way. Through his first 3 college football seasons, he had 9 touchdowns total. He had 13 in his final season. So, I mean, obviously, he jumped to another level. Some of the accolades, he's been all CUSA, honorable mention. That was back in 2023. He did have a left arm surgery where he missed the final 3 games of the season in 2024, so he did not play a full season. And then this past year, he was 2nd team All Big 12 and led Big 12 in touchdown receptions. He ended up going to the Senior Bowl and the American Bowl there for Cyrus Allen. So like I said, intriguing receiver. He's 5'11". He's 183 pounds. He's a day 3 prospect. And Dane's major takeaway was, quote, Allen gave his draft profile a boost at the Senior Bowl, and he shows the quickness and ball skills that will stand out during training camp. So there you go on Cyrus Allen. There he is, number 5 on the list.
We heard a lot of positives. We were to listen to that analysis, we would think he's going in the top 10. Shout out to my guy CB Dub. Pretty much just bringing the air back in the room of my guy's a day 3 pick. I'm sure there's great reason for that, but I did notice it is actually really worth noticing because I did see it myself that the Jets met with him in 3 different locations. Where if we're talking about wide receivers, I believe he's the only one that can say that. But to your point, right? If we're looking at these and saying, "Oh, well, that's because there's more questions," so they keep another question. Maybe that's what it is, and that they're just trying to answer more questions. It's not as clear.
Yeah. For CBW, yes, I won't just say the Superman stuff. I should say why is he Clark Kent too, which I will do. This is from Dane Brugler's report. He has below average play strength. He can be out physicaled, both mid-route and at the catch point. He has average lateral agility. You'd like to see him do more when he gets a ball in his hands. And if he could prove himself as a returner, that would increase his chances of making an NFL roster. He does have some level of kick return experience. So, again, that sort of factors into the weight. Being an 180-pound wide receiver, if you could get messed up at the line of scrimmage, that is a bad day at the office, and that you have to imagine happens a lot at the NFL level. So those are some of the reasons that a little slip and slide action there for none other than Cyrus Allen.
Yes, and we all appreciate both sides of the story. So thank you so much. I will echo my guy for that. I also want to give a shout out to my guy Dano, right in the danger zone. Unfortunately, there is no column in the spreadsheet to denote whether or not Aaron Glenn was actually awake or just sleeping in the meeting or the meetings that they had. So unfortunately, we just have to guess. You have to guess. It's pretty much a 50-50 shot whether or not he was awake or not. But we have to guess. Shout out for that very important, very insightful question.
Thank you. All right, so I guess we'll jump over to you with
number 5.
Yes, number 5. I got Traden Stoops, cornerback, kind of safety. He's doing a lot of things. Defensive back. We'll go defensive back from Arizona. Shout out to my co-host Abby Abs Rants. You might have heard of her. She is a U of A alum, so I know she always loves. Whenever a Wildcat is doing something in the pros, and this is a guy who was captain of that squad, and I think when you look at his approach to the game of football, that's why I think it's so interesting that they've met with him. The amount of times that they met with him just to go over that, they did have a private workout. Right, they were at his pro day and had a meeting at the combine. So 3 different touch points with Mr. Stoops. And again, this is a guy who loves football. They say infectious passion for the game. A film junkie. Loves to prep. Right, it's all about that prep. And that is what makes up for his lack of just raw athleticism, right? He's not a number 1 or a first round pick or, second round would kind of be, kind of a stretch.
I have it here. Yeah, his grade is a second or third round pick.
Exactly, right? So, second, maybe you reach a little bit. But, again, that commitment, right, he does have, he's 6'1". Right, so he does have size and length. It's just not, the speed and, agility factors. But again, when you have that type of preparation, you have that type of technique. This is a sound tackler. I feel like this is somebody worth bringing in. This is also somebody who's going to positively impact the locker room. Former captains. That's a big deal. So I think, this is a name that we hear called. I wouldn't be too mad. I can't lie. 44, I would be, like we just said, the stretch. But, if a third round pick is secured somehow, someone's traded or whatever happens, or, we can find an appropriate place. I definitely think this is somebody who although it seems like they may be buried in the depth chart right now, like all the safeties and we have a nickel corner. I still think he's somebody long term, great to have in the locker room, lifting everybody up. And I think if he has to play on the field, he may turn some heads.
So here's my only problem with trading Stukes. He's closer to death than birth. I mean, this guy's going to be 25.
That's not true. What are you talking? He died at 49.
Who knows? I don't know. But he's about to be 25 before he steps foot as a rookie in a regular season. So he's a little bit of an older prospect. So take that for what you will. To your point, you could mention experience. I love that he's a former walk-on. And here's the thing, Woody. I'll just say this as we continue to talk about him. We do have crossover. He was number 4 on my list. I have him written. So beautiful pass. I have him written. Right, I don't want to show it because then I'll show my other names on the list. But he is right there. There you go. I don't know if my terrible. Yep, there you go. Arizona trading Stukes. My handwriting's terrible. But there it is. So as soon as you said that, I was like, wow. Okay, we are going to have some crossover and beautifully. So some other stuff on him. This never mind. I'm not this could go in a completely another direction. So I'm not gonna I'll tell you off air. Just remember I have to tell you something about Stukes off air. I definitely can't say
hey yo.
There's something else on here. Anywho, former walk-on, you love that. Dane Brugler's takeaway was Stukes is too reactionary at times, but he is an instinctive athlete who plays with quiet confidence and valuable versatility. He projects best in the nickel while offering outside or single high flexibility. So he could sort of be used all over the place from a versatility perspective. And again, as I mentioned, older player, he will be 25 before the start of the season. But getting to the age, he went to school at Arizona to be like a doctor. He first went to Arizona back in 2020. So look at all these seasons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 seasons at Arizona. So he went for some sort of extra degree, that's for sure. But there is some intriguing production on tape. When you look at all these picks, especially over the last couple of years, he has 7 picks over the last 4 seasons. You see a lot of those pass deflections are there too. He's got 25 pass deflections over the last 4 years. So yeah, there's some nice production for him. And again, I like the versatility. I don't think we talk about it enough. The secondary is a big need for the New York Jets that we just don't talk enough about because of what's on the surface and maybe because we have a million other needs, but a very intriguing guy. All right, Woody. See?
Yeah, that's great. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Yeah,
but there it is. Trading Stukes. I like it though. I respect that. Because I was actually really, I was like really when I was looking, into his background, I was like, okay, nice. So, I think we made a good choice.
We did. Yeah. The thing I'll just say, he was born on September 11th, 2001.
Is that's what you were freaking out?
Yeah, because I didn't want to laugh. Like it's a,
you did laugh. So we have that. Yeah, we have that on film.
Yeah. So I guess that's true now.
You laughing right now?
I was trying to find a way. As I'm looking through the information on the beach, I'm like, oh, that's interesting. So yeah. Fateful day. Yeah, that's terrible. Yeah. Anywho, Woody, you want to go to number 4?
Yes, please.
Please.
Number 4.
Quickly.
This is the only name on my list that I don't even like.
Oh, that's okay.
I don't care for it. I feel like I've been hearing this name for years now. Never cared.
Okay.
But people keep telling me that the Jets have to draft a QB this year. So
a quarterback.
I'm gonna choose this person if I have to choose one. Again, let me make it very clear. If I'm Darren Moody, I'm not drafting a quarterback. I bring in whoever, right, and just call it.
But you think this is the most intriguing, apparently, of the quarterback names on there? Then
that's a lot of words that
Well, isn't
Yes,
that what this
my
is?
son.
The top 5 most intriguing projects the Jets met with? I'm just trying to play detective over here. But you hate this guy's guts, apparently. So okay.
I mean, I don't hate it. I'm just not, I just don't see what the other people see. But clearly the Jets have been
Oh,
seeing
I know who this is already. Okay, go ahead.
because they've been meeting, and of course, right when we say, oh, is it the questions, or the answers? Well, let's see. We had the what is this, private workout,
Mm-hmm.
meeting at the pro day,
Mm-hmm.
and meeting at the combine. 3 touch points of meeting with this young dude, and they have been telling me for years he has the prototypical size, arm strength, everything that you want in a quarterback. But then everything else we have yet to see come to fruition. Clearly, I am talking about that boy from Penn State, none other than Drew Allar. And my thought process here is, Frank Reich. Like, I feel like this is from a physical standpoint, this is a prototypical Frank Reich quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So if he can just, his knowledge, his NFL knowledge is just strictly in that system with Frank Reich, like his philosophies, his principles, and then actually the prep, right? We actually have a real quarterbacks coach now. So to actually get footwork, actually get proper mechanics, then I am, because you already know I'm team Arch or whoever that is in 2027. So I'm definitely not saying franchise QB, but I am saying, like cool backup perhaps is possible, especially for all you AG fans out there, if if he keeps his job. Which, let me actually take that back, because he might keep his job and then fire 12 more coaches this upcoming season. I don't know, but the average coach, when they keep their job, they don't fire every single coach that works under them. So if that's the case and Frank Reich is there, then that continuity will be huge for Allar. And again, he is sculpted for that system. So that would be my choice of the QBs.
Here's some more info on your mama's favorite quarterback, Drew Allar. He's 22 years of age. Okay. So there's still some youth there. Dane's major takeaway was Drew Allar is a sturdy, strong arm passer with promising intangibles, but underdeveloped timing disrupts his ability to execute at a high level. He has NFL starting caliber physical tools, although a lack of natural passing rhythm creates uncertainty about his developmental ceiling at the next level. He is 6'5", 228 pounds. Again, if you built a quarterback on a lab table, it's very possible that he would look like Drew Allar, but there's a lot of problems. He missed last season. He was playing part of last season, then he broke his left ankle, and so he missed a lot of time, but he was at the combine and at a few other of these tentpole events to show teams that, it's not totally, he's somewhat healthy. Well, I'm not a doctor, so I won't try to pretend what's his health level, but wildly inconsistent. Saw him a few times when he played Notre Dame in the college football playoff. There is just, it's intriguing. The draft grade from Dane Brugler is a 3rd or 4th round pick. At that stage of the draft, if the Jets draft Drew Allar, they don't have a 3rd round pick, but if they had a 3rd round pick, let's just call it a 4th round because that's what they have. They'd take him in the 4th round. If it works, woohoo! If it doesn't work, who gives a flying hoot? Jets blow 4th round picks all the time. So it feels like low risk, high reward, and there is a 3rd option, right? Not just, wow, he's great or wow, he's terrible. What if he's just meh? Okay, now you have a backup quarterback. That's valuable too. So an intriguing guy. If I don't know who else is on your list, Wudi, but he may be the most intriguing of any of them because it's intriguing. He was at once considered a top 5 pick. Now he's definitely not going to the top 5. So fascinating. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and let me make it clear. If his name is called anytime before the 4th round by the New York Jets, I would be upset. I would be like, what are they doing? So yeah, this is 4th round. Yeah. Okay, cool. Have fun.
Okay, fair enough. All right, let's go here. So you again, I already told my 4, so we'll move it along to 3 here on the list.
Number 3.
This is I love these kinds of stories. Wudi, I speak for both of our fathers here. That our dad spent 20 years in the United States Navy. So when Navy prospects come on the board of any intrigue level, you know that they're built of the right stuff. Landon Robinson, defensive tackle out of Navy, makes my list. He is projected as a 6th-round pick. He is 23 years of age. He is a 4th-year senior. Obviously, again, when you go through the military ranks, to me that you like the cut of the jib. Dane's takeaway here on old Landon is that Robinson will be viewed as a classic tweener for most schemes, but his quickness and energy lead directly to production. Whether he's drafted or signs as an undrafted free agent, look for him to make it extremely hard for an NFL team to cut him in camp. I love seeing stuff like this. Now, again, the size. He's 5'11". That's normally not what you want to see from a defensive tackle. 293. Yeah. Again, I know you were going to say that with the height. 5'11".
That's crazy.
293 pounds. He started off, of course, at the Navy Academy Prep School before eventually moving over here to Navy. But look at some of this production. Over the last 3 years as a full-time starter, he had 4 sacks, 6.5. So you have some of that, production as a pass rusher. 4.5 tackles for loss, 5.5, 8.5. He had 2 forced fumbles in his 2024 season. And we're talking about low risk, high reward. He also has blocked field goals during his career. And this past season, he was the AAC Defensive Player of the Year, first team all AAC. And he led the team in sacks and tackles for loss. He was also a team captain. When you're a team captain anywhere, as Wudi pointed out earlier, that's pretty important. When you're a captain at Navy, of captains that just exist and fall off of trees, to me, he's intriguing. Day 3 dart throw. Maybe you can even get him as a priority free agent. And to me, this defensive tackle class stinks to the Jets, so it's smart on them to go get a Tavondre Sweat because they're like, yikes, this group doesn't look great, and we don't want to come in here with a need with not a lot of great. So instead, still invest at the position late and throw a dart throw. The Jets have a couple of 7th-round picks. Why not use it on someone like this who's pretty talented? So I like stoking the flames on the defensive line with a Navy prospect.
I totally respect that. When I was preparing my list, the very first name that I wrote down was Grayson Halton, the tackle out of Oklahoma. And they were talking about how he's undersized. He's 6'1", and they're talking about he's undersized. And once I started writing some other names, and then I was looking at, position right, we got Anya Mott. We got, the defensive tackle room looks pretty nice, what you just said, right? But still worth to
we got 4 guys, right? Because David Onyemata, Harrison Phillips, Juwan Briggs, Tavondre Sweat. Like, we're pretty loaded.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's definitely worth, adding a young guy in the room. But like you just said, we're pretty, I don't want to say stacked, but very solid. Very solid.
Maybe I'm over the top. Maybe I'm over the top. You gotta pull me back in. Gotta rein me back in a little. Okay.
Oh, good. But yeah, so I've said that to say our brains were working similarly, that we had an undersized DT on here, but after I considered positional need and all that type of stuff, he became my 6, which is why I haven't said his name. So for you to have one at 3, and yours obviously, Landon, like you just said, captain. I do think that's very serious to be a captain, to have that respect of your peers, your coach. We'll see. We'll see if they take that dart throw in round 6.
Quick question, Wudi. I don't know how much you share about your personal life here on the show, but if you don't mind, I'm curious because I want to ask you about your job. Are you that guy at the fair, like when people are trying to get on a ride and you say, hey, stand next to this, and you're like, oh, is that how Landon didn't really make your list at 6? Like 6 is an interesting place to be, but we don't have an honorable mention. Like you named him as 6, but he could have been 30th. It didn't matter. It's a top 5. So you're 6.
No, that doesn't matter.
Because here's the thing. With all due respect, how many people did you tell were 6 When you had a meeting before the show and you said, "All right, here's my top 5. All right, the rest of you, I'm so sorry. Let me have one-on-one conversation. I'm sorry, man. You were 6. You just missed the cut. Thanks. See ya." Next guy comes in. "Hey, man, you were 6. You were right there. Oh boy." And then he walks out of the room. How many people did you tell were 6?
No. So for the record, Grayson Halton was my 6, not Landon.
Okay. All right.
And I think that does matter when you have a top 5. Like this was someone whose name is on my paper because I felt so felt so good about them that my pen hit the paper and formed their name. Right. That's a big deal. Number 7's not on here. Number 8, number 9. Nope. No, it's okay. There are 6 names. Grayson Halton's one of them. Landon's short ass isn't one of them. But I was trying to give you some respect. You know, but yeah, he can bring his Oompa Loompa ass to Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. Okay,
yeah. All right, there we go. All right, are you ready for number 3?
Yes.
Number 3.
This is a name or a person rather that intrigues me because I know the average fan personality, everybody, we got an edge coming, you know, that first pick, right, is an edge rusher. Mm-hmm. But what if it's not?
Oh.
Like I feel like that is possible. It better not be Ty Simpson. That's, you know, I'm not, but I feel like there are a lot of different things that can happen. Obviously, if Lou B gets his wish, you know, Jeremiah Love. If Indy gets his wish, you know,
Michael Clemens. Oh. Right. Carnell Tate. Right.
You know, there's some downs people, but if they don't go in the edge department, that first pick, a name that I find intriguing and that the Jets met with 3 times, a top 30 visit at the Pro Day and at the Combine, is Zion Young.
Oh, by the way, real quick, I'm so sorry. For Landon, I didn't tell everybody where he was. I totally destroyed the whole segment. Sorry. Landon from Navy, they met with him at his pro day and at the Shrine Bowl. So I apologize, everybody. I got too deep into the profile. So
I mean, everybody was in an uproar. They were like, "Yo, what happened?
You liar! You're full of shit!" Like, yeah. So anywho, go ahead, Woody.
But yeah, so 3 different meetings with our guy Zion Young, defensive end from Missouri. Again, top 30 at the Pro Day, at the Combine. And this dude is a beast, a freak of nature. The prototypical size, so not, you know, a short Oompa Loompa like that other guy Boy Green was just trying to talk to you about. But this dude is 6'6", 262 pounds. This is a mountain of a man who is ready to just put the hurt on people. Great tackler, right? So they say at worst, this is somebody who's going to elevate the run defense, right? And that's something that we've been nervous about with Bailey, you know, early downs. And then, you know, knowing that, you know, Will McDonald is complete booty cheeks with it. But Zion isn't somebody who, again, at worst would raise the bar there. But of course, the hope is that an elite defensive line coach can help him develop pass rush moves because he does not have pass rush moves. Right now, if he's gotten a sack, it's through raw athleticism. You know, so you just push that dude back. But can, you know, somebody actually teach him moves and counters to those moves, right, to help him actually become a great pass rusher? Don't the Jets have Carl Dunbar? Let's go. Come on now. I mean, I feel like that's a perfect recipe. You have that piece of clay, a 6'6", 262-pound piece of clay that Carl can mold in any way that he wants, right? To have, you know, a wide array of moves, right, that work. I feel like this, especially if this is the regime moving forward, would be one of the sneakiest value picks the New York Jets can make. And for that reason, that's why he is so high on my list, because he's not a name anybody's talking about. but he's someone that the Jets have been talking to nonstop, and he has the physical gifts. It's can they coach him to reach the next level? And I personally believe they got the coach in place.
Wudi, we go back to back here. Zion Young was the 6th player on my list. So I'm not even kidding. He was the guy on my list I found very intriguing. By the way, he's a second round grade from Dane. So right on the cusp there. I see TBW asking, where would you take him at 44?
33? Is he there at 33?
That's what I was about to say. Because, again, it's intriguing because you probably don't double dip. You probably don't take, let's say, David Bailey at 2 and then Zion Young at whatever, 33 or 44. You probably don't do that. Who knows? I guess anything can happen. But you probably don't. But in your case, you say, hey, what if we don't go edge at 2, Sonny Styles? You get your edge a different way. And Zion Young, there's a lot of different ways to skin it. So I don't think he's there at 44. If he is, I mean, even if I took Arvell Reese or whoever it took, like, because I like Zion Young a lot, to be honest with you. He's 22. Obviously, you just heard some of the measurables there. Dane's takeaway was this. Young doesn't have the pass rush quickness or diversity that will scare offensive tackles in the NFL, but he sets a firm edge in the run game and uses his NFL caliber measurables and heavy hands to open up pathways to the pocket. He has the floor of a quality backup and the ceiling of a starting base end for a physical NFL front. So take that for what you will. He's 6'5", unbelievable, 262 pounds. I mean, just incredible size. And, when Dane Brugler says he has sculpted definition, I mean, come on, man. This guy has all the statistics. And I'm looking at all these measurables, man, and these numbers he started his career at Michigan State, then went to Missouri. But a sack and a half, 2.5 sacks, 6.5 sacks, 2 tackles for loss, 4.5, 5.5, 16.5 tackles for loss last season. I mean, that's sick. 3 forced fumbles over the last 2 years. He gets involved with pass deflections, getting his hands up here. He was first team All SEC last year. He led the team in tackles for loss. And again, you're noticing a trend here with Woody's guys, team captain. So there for Zion Young. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, I also want to shout out, right? We got a couple of comments, responses. My guy, Envelet, in the building, he said Keldrick Falk is better Clay. I'm not here to disagree with that notion. I feel like they both are kind of similar in the fact that, they're moldable. Like they are guys that have the physical tools, don't really have the, mechanics. But unfortunately, the Jets have met with Falk 0 times. So for me, I don't know if he's on the radar at all.
So you're saying this, Woody, that the Jets are saying, fuck him?
That was funny. That was good.
There we go. I got a genuine chuckle from the
but yeah, like he it doesn't seem like he's on the radar. Zion Young, 3 meetings, seems like he's on the radar. So that's why, we giving him the airtime right now. And I personally would be obviously hyped with Falk, but I would also be hyped with Young.
All right, and then now time for your number 2, correct there, Woodster?
Is it? Did you just say something?
Maybe. I don't remember our back and forth now anymore, so it may be back to me. But okay, is it me?
Yeah, because I just spoke about Zion Young. Yeah.
Okay. Great. All right, now I'm cool. I have the number listed, so it doesn't matter to me when I go. So okay, perfect.
Number 2.
All right, back on track here. Excellent. All right. This next guy on my list, let me make sure I get I'm going to say all the things first so I don't mess it up this time. That's what I'm going to try to do here for this young man. The linebacker out of Clemson. Let's go to linebacker Wade Woodaz. It sounds like Woodass, but it's Woodaz is how it's pronounced apparently. 6'3", 236 pounds out of Clemson. And the Jets met with this young man twice. Say it so nice, you gotta say it twice. Here you go. They met with him twice. They attended his pro day, and they met with him at the combine for a Clemson linebacker. You were just sort of talking about it with Zion about do they go edge rusher here and off-ball linebacker here or vice versa. This is a guy who's graded as a 6th-round pick. He's 22 years of age. This is a guy who's been a starter for 2.5 years at Clemson. And as Dane notes, he's played inside linebacker, outside linebacker, and he's even played some nickel in Tom Allen's defensive coordinator scheme, where he wore the green dot for the Tigers, calling the defense. Dane's takeaway here is Woodass needs to introduce more control to his frenzied play style, but athleticism and eagerness to make plays can be assets in the right role. He has a competitive makeup and speed to earn his paycheck on special teams while working towards defensive snaps. Again, 6'3", 236 pounds, well built. I mean, this guy's a freaking truck, and we need more opportunities at the linebacker position. And he's had some productive seasons, 5.5 tackles for loss, 6 tackles for loss, 10 tackles for loss, 7 tackles for loss, a little bit of sack production mixed in there too. 1.5 sacks, 4 sacks, 3 sacks, half a sack this past season. He's had 4 forced fumbles in his career. He has 12 pass deflections, and he also has 3 picks. So there's just a lot of playmaking happening here. Day 3 investment. I love Demario Davis. But I guess if anyone, I was going to make the comment closer to death than birth, that may circle back there. But if you look at linebacker, we don't know what Jamin Sherwood's going to be. Francisco Malingo was very up and down. So I think you need more bodies there. So if you don't go like a Sonny Styles up top, I think you go a little Clemson action.
That is a huge gap between Sonny Styles and Mr. Woodass over there. So, I hope those are not the only 2 options. I pray, Lord Jesus, deliver us from that being the only 2 options, because there's a lot of other linebackers. You know, we got to talk with our guy Ryan Roberts about a few. Jake Golday. You know, there's a whole lot. There's literally like dozens. Like, I think multiple dozens in between Sonny and Woodass over there. But yeah, if they you know bring him in. You know, special teams do some, you know, the 6th round. Okay, that's cool. But that cannot be the only investment made at the linebacker position in the draft. Or I'll be upset.
Fair enough. Touche. All right, Woody.
Yeah.
All right, ready for number 2 on this list, Woody?
Yes.
Number 2.
I can't lie. This name is a name that I heard, but I wasn't tracking on this name.
Okay.
But you know, when people you respect speak,
okay,
you listen.
Do you listen to me on this show?
I knew you were gonna say some dumb shit like that, like whether it was like you or like Aaron Glenn or so. I knew you were gonna say like somebody. But the name or the person.
Oh wow, you didn't answer that. That's concerning. Anywho, yeah, go ahead. Whatever the hell you have to say. Go ahead.
The person that every word has value to me is last week's guest, Ryan Roberts. And he went out of his way to praise this man.
Okay.
And Boy Green, he took note. He took note because then he actually wrote about it. And then I came into this spreadsheet and I said, damn, because he was actually brought in for a top 30 visit. Boy Green already said you only have 30 of those. And they chose to spend one on this guy. And they had a meeting at the combine. Give me that man. Mama, there goes that man. Wide receiver from Louisville, Chris Bell. Ring that bell, okay? This is somebody who, you know, right now, I got a tab open right now on NFL.com. They're talking about 4th round, third or 4th round. What did they say?
Oh, that's stupid. That's
you know what I'm saying? But you know, the injury, right? There are some doubts and all this type of stuff. Of course, Boy Green, after I say this, you can let me know what it says on the Beast. But you know, go back to that episode where Ryan talked about Chris Bell. I mean, he has the size and the speed. I know that's something I've been talking about a little bit, maybe ad nauseum if you know you don't like talking about size and speed, but you know, 6'2", 200 pounds. Like this is, I think that's a compliment for Garrett. Like I feel like, you know, Garrett is so good, right? He's an elusive route runner, but we don't have any big, you know, just big, strong, physical receivers. And that's why, you know, Tate would be so fantastic. But if that's not an option, this is. Oh, you got the clip.
No. This is the screenshot after Ryan Roberts said, "Hey man, if with no injury, Chris Bell could have gone top 20." And look at the faces. Look at Wudi's eyebrows get lost in his beanie up there. Look at me going, woo! Almost like a Ric Flair. It's WrestleMania week. Maybe that's what's happening. And I went, ooh! And those faces right there. That is Wudi. That is me. And if you want to check out that video, that's actually a collab link on the Take Flight Talk YouTube Shorts. You guys could check it out there. It's also on mine. That Ryan Roberts had quite a quote. I have the quote, so I'll read it out here from Ryan Roberts on the show. I did write a piece about it because it was so moving to me. I went, like, oh my. We spoke with Ryan Roberts on Boy Green Meets Wudi, and here's what he had to say. Quote, the one that is super fascinating in this class, if not for the injury, and I don't actually bake injuries into my final evaluations, I just got to put a little red sticker next to their name and let them know, hey, there's some medical concerns here, but I'm not a doctor. I love Chris Bell out of Louisville. Like, if Chris Bell did not tear his ACL down the stretch of the season, I think he would have maybe gone in the top 20. And then we had this reaction to that quote. I'll just leave this up while I'm reading this. All right, there you go. And I think he would have maybe gone to the top 20. Like, I think he was on that type of ascension. He's 6'2", 227 pounds. He was going to run 4.4 flat or better. He just was. He's fast, explosive. I think he's going to be a value. If I'm the Jets in the early 30s, I'm the Tennessee Titans at 35. Even if you have to be patient with Chris Bell and his rehab a little bit when you're a team that's not going to compete in 2026. Ouch. I might be patient with a guy like Chris Bell. I think the upside and the long-term investment could pay off tremendously. Bell, I think, is going to be a tremendous value in the second round. That was the direct quote from Ryan Roberts, but you guys can go back and play the clip. Just look up Chris Bell. It'll pop right up from me and Wudi. Chris Bell, Ryan Roberts on the Boy Green Meets Wudi show. And, oh, yeah, baby.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like that's fantastic. A fantastic compliment. Somebody that we would all love. And I'm seeing the comments, usually people cursing me out. Yo, Wudi, you the dumbest dude I ever seen. But that's how like, there's just those certain players where it's just like universal. Like, they're just on that path. Yes, he had an injury. He's going to work back from it. And for the New York Jets specifically, right, they've met with him. He is a person of interest. And I really believe if it's not Carnell Tate, this is the best compliment for what they already have in the room. And, I think it's very intriguing. And that's why he landed so high on my list.
Yeah, he has a second-round grade because of the injury again towards ACL in November. Had surgery shortly thereafter in December. So Ryan believes he would have been a first-round pick easy without it. He projects to be a second-round pick. And Dave Brugler says he has a rare NFL combination. He's big, strong, and explosive and should be a starting receiver when he ultimately is healthy. He's 21. He'll turn 22 over the summer. And you just look at some of the stuff from him. Quote, Bell is still rough around the edges in several areas, but he's big, strong, and explosive. It's hard to find those guys, especially with Bell's receiving talent. An ACL injury complicates his draft grade, but he earned an NFL starter projection when healthy. 6'1", 222 pounds, 10-inch hands, and some of his numbers here. Again, this most recent season before he got hurt, he had 72 catches for 900 yards and 6 touchdowns. All of those figures were career highs, and he got hurt. So there would have been more numbers, obviously, to add there. So Chris Bell, unbelievable. Great call out. I love Chris Bell.
Appreciate it. Hey, come on now. Real recognizing real.
Okay, 100%. So, all right, Wudi, I've got my one, and then you'll have your one, right? Or is Chris Bell your one? Okay.
Yeah. I've got number 2.
Okay. Yep. All right. Good. It's hard for me to keep track. I'm a monkey operating a spotlight over here for a guy.
Well, tell the monkeys play that ESPN real quick. I think if R&R, we are trusting in R&R, as Boy Green is trying to catch his breath right now.
I mean, it's big, but let me make sure this is real.
What did you think? I don't even know what you thought.
I thought a literal trade had happened. I'm like, oh my god, did the Jets just trade for somebody? I was like, sweet.
Oh damn! I'm so sorry. So hit you with that false start.
Oh.
Yeah. If you got blue balls now, I apologize. But Yeah, I just thought that was fun because she is. I think everyone consider her an enemy of the New York Jets. So yeah, if she's done, she's
Yeah.
resigned. I
So
thought that
this
was worth
is
noting.
this is official from Rob Maddie. He covers the Associated Press, so he covers all NFL news. NFL reporter Diana Rossini has resigned from the Athletic. The AP has learned. So all this stuff. Wow, that's wow, that's stunning. There's a lot of stuff going on, so it's not like like if Adam Schefter resigned today, like, whoa, what the hell happened? Like, we know there was an investigation going on. So the photos came out. The Athletic stood by her immediately, said, this is all taken out of context. And then just how people were responding, the Athletic said, we're going to reopen and look at this with an internal investigation, and Diana Rossini will be off coverage while we're looking into this. And that just coming out like 20 minutes ago. Holy crap. That is wow, man, that sucks, man, because for her, obviously you lose your job and that sucks. She, I imagine, was forced to resign. I imagine she didn't want to keep doing her job, and I don't know, I don't want to speculate, but to lose your job like this, and this is going to be tied to you forever. So she had been doing the NFL Insider Game with ESPN, The Athletic, and a lot of different places previously in her career. Is this like the final nail in the coffin for her career? I don't know how you come back from this. So that's going to be very difficult. So, man, I know a lot of people are going to be cracking jokes. There's been jokes all over social media about everything, but, and hey, that's part of the game, man. But damn, like they must have uncovered some stuff. So that is brutal.
Yes. Pretty much everything you said. And I am a huge Michael Jackson fan. I already got my tickets pre-ordered to the movie. That's coming out.
All right,
yeah, 10 days. Got my tickets pre-ordered. So nice. We don't got to put it up, but keep it simple. I see you. No, I said we don't got to put it up. Yo, you out here searching. I said we don't. But I see you out there. That's from the Bad album. Holla at your boy. But yeah, go back. We can get back on track with your number one.
Hey, which, by the way, salute to R&R. He was right? Like I've had, but this is no disrespect to R&R, but once you've been burned once or twice, you can't do it anymore. There have been people that said, "Oh my God, Boy Green, have you seen this?" And I'm like, "Oh!" And I put it on the screen and go, "Whoa, what the? This is crazy!" And then I try to go check it. I'm like, "You fucking people lied to me. You made me look like an idiot." And I realized it wasn't real. They totally made it up. They said like a trade or something had happened, and I'm looking for it on Twitter. I'm like checking my phone. Did someone text me about this? And they lied. So I'm sorry, but once you get burned once, it's hard to trust ever again. So R&R, you were 100% right. It is confirmed by AP and several other people reporting it, so it is official. All right, here's number one, and I am fairly certain our number ones are not the same.
Number one.
There we go. I'm pretty sure our number ones are not the same. This is a guy who, and let me double check one thing here to see. Yeah, no, I didn't. Okay, I was about to say, did I cover him? Because he is a Syracuse guy, and I wanted to double check if I covered him because unfortunately my job doing Syracuse stuff ended with COVID. So if he did not predate, his college career was going on, but he did not start at Syracuse. I'm going to go with tight end Dan Villari, but he's a very interesting guy. He was a quarterback recruit at Michigan. He transfers over to Syracuse initially as a quarterback recruit, and then he shifts to tight end. And then for a period of time, it was like 2 seasons ago, he was their Wildcat quarterback. And we had injury. You see, look at me, I'm doing a Jets thing. Like the Syracuse football team had so many injuries that they said, Dan, you're running Wildcat the entire game. And so he became their Wildcat quarterback for like the final couple games of the season. And they were running weird read option, trick plays, and all kinds of stuff with him at quarterback. He's a super interesting player. He's a guy that is projected as a priority free agent. He's not expected to get drafted. He's 23. He will be 24 by the start of his rookie season. He's a New York guy, born and raised. Like I said, he was a quarterback prospect and went to Michigan. Like, that's a big deal that he was a quarterback, former All-State captain. And he led his high school football team as the quarterback to a Class State title and an undefeated season. He was a 3-star quarterback recruit coming out. And again, he ended up picking Michigan. And he went to Michigan after so think about this craziness. When C.J. Stroud picked Ohio State, Dan Villari then picked Michigan. So he went the other way there for old Dan Villari. So route runner, Wildcat, could do a little bit of everything. He's 6'3", 243 pounds. His statistics are all over the place because, like I said, he played quarterback, running back, receiver, and everything else. So give me some Dan Villari action. Local kid. They have gone through this, and let me pull this up for Dan. His meetings with the Jets have been only once, but quality over quantity, baby. So let's go. He had one meeting with the Jets, and that was back during, excuse me, let me change this setting here so I can see it on here. According to Dom C, shout out to our guy Dom C at the Senior Bowl. So some Dan Villari action there, Woodster. Oh, that's not nice. That's not nice at all.
Thank God I didn't let you end this episode on that, dude. I don't even know.
Dan Villari, man.
Dan Manali, I don't even know what you said. And it doesn't even matter because we're not going to hear his name again. That was crazy how you tried to end the show
it's
on
intriguing.
That. Okay. Maybe to you and his parents. No, yeah, we'll see. We'll see if his name because it's not going to get called because he's undrafted. So, yeah, I mean, we're going to see if his name pops up anywhere. So
see yours,
number one,
it's a name that we've heard, all right, but again, everyone's acting like it's a foregone conclusion that edge is the first pick for the New York Jets. Everyone, it's become a gang. It's like the Bloods and the Crips. We got the Reese. Come on now. What you said, tripping for a fool, and we got the David Baileys out here. But that dark horse, a name that if I hear the Jets pick this dude at 2, I will be ecstatic. Because I think this is a home run pick. And I think that of all the prospects in this draft class, he has the best chance to be, we're talking about independent of situation that they get drafted into, to be a Hall of Famer. This is my pick. So if he is a New York Jets draft pick, I will be hyped. And that is none other, the one, the only, a real name that's actually going to be called instead of my Milli Vanilli over there. That was funny. Wasn't that funny? Funny? No,
not as funny as my stuff, but that's okay.
We are talking about Sonny Styles, the linebacker from Ohio State. This guy has it all, right? He has it up here, right? He has the mental, he has the intelligence, he has the physical attributes of physical. Sorry, I can't even speak. This guy is such a tremendous prospect. The physical acumen. He, like I said, can do it all. Hall of Fame potential right there. Hall of Fame trajectory. And the New York Jets have met with him a whopping 3 times. They have used a top 30 visit on my guy. They've brought him in for a private workout. They met at his pro day. Come on now, this guy, whoever he gets drafted to, they're going to be a fantastic. It's a fantastic selection. I'll say that. Business about to pick up, but the thing that I like about it, perhaps even the most, is that DeMario is there. I don't think that's a hindrance. I think it's quite opposite, and for some reason, the word is escaping me right now. It's a plus. All right, to have DeMario there, someone who's been through it, all pro, doing all this stuff. He is as old as dirt, all right, and he's still performing, producing at a high level. You know why that is? It's because of how he operates. It's because of his mentals, how he takes care of his body, how he approaches the game. So have him coach, talk to, mentor our guys, Sonny Styles, so that he can attack the game the same way. And now we're talking about someone who could potentially be a top tier New York Jet for 10, 15 years. And that's what you hope for when you make your first pick of an NFL draft, is that you're getting a foundational piece for the next 10, 15 years. And Sonny Styles, my opinion, I think that is the best bet in terms of making that happen. Obviously, he's on the Jets radar. And, you guys talked about that clip so many times. If you love a certain player and you guys, was, talking about subliminal messaging, he was counting all the different words and I mean, just take it for what he said. Take it for what he said. If you love the player, it don't matter who else is on the roster, go get him. And I think Sonny Styles is someone worth, loving the attributes. DeMario can help smooth the transition. And when it's his time, boom, set for life.
I respect the Sonny Styles selection. I love Sonny Styles. I will be at the draft in Pittsburgh. If Sonny Styles is the pick at any combination, they trade back up from 16 and potentially get him. How can you not be excited? He has NFL bloodlines. Acknowledge him. 6'5", 244 pounds. It's a position of need. And really, whatever they've asked him to do, similar in a slight way to Arvell Reese, like he has dominated. He's a former safety, so he can cover. He could pass rush when he was asked to. It hasn't been consistent throughout his entire career, but like when he was asked to pass rush, there was pass rush reps there. Although it sort of seems like Arvell Reese took over that role from him. They asked him to do it more than Sonny Styles did. So, man, that would be exciting. That seems like a centerpiece of a defense for a long time. And again, to your point, you already mentioned it, so I don't want to belabor the point, but next to DeMario Davis, learning from one of the best to do it for 2 years, what he's under contract for. And Sonny could still start. It's not like Sonny's going to be, the Padawan that doesn't touch a field. Like, he is going to play with DeMario Davis and learn from him and eventually, hopefully, pry that torch from him. And then he's the man. So, that's a beautiful plan. Very intriguing, of course, Sonny. Yeah.
Yes, definitely way more intriguing than
I don't want to get into a pissing contest here, but
no, we not. I'm sorry. Yeah.
You're not sorry though. You're not sorry. Screw you, man. Whatever.
But yeah, I mean, and again, obviously, if they
Go ahead. No. Let's
I literally thought that Tati came over there like you were listening to. That's so funny.
Not me. How do we switch back to? Ah, damn it! I don't even know what I did now.
Oh, yeah, you gotta fix the screen. But no, all I'm saying is, obviously, if they take Bailey, shout out to my guy Gohan Anchor. He's been saying from the first, from February. You've been talking about me, like for real. For Bailey, I wouldn't be upset. Reese, I think, is obviously a dog. I wouldn't be upset with Reese. I mean, for me, I've always said, there are 4 names where if I hear them, that I'm cool. And those are 3 of the 4 right there. Like, I really think Sonny Styles is going to be a beast. I think wherever he goes, like there, the defense is about to be on a new level. There's the pre-Sonny Styles and the post. So yeah, I mean, you guys talking about Sonny going to Tennessee. I mean, damn, if that happens, look out, and that's only good news for us because we got that Colts pick. Sonny gonna have Daniel Jones looking up at the lights. So yeah, I think he's a beast.
Well, I couldn't agree more. I love him. We'll see what happens on draft day. That's going to be the intriguing thing. We're 9 days from the draft. We've talked about every possible scenario that could possibly exist in the universe. And then we're going to get rubber meeting road here. And so it'll be fascinating to see. I can't wait.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, it's a huge deal for us. Really, really big deal. I feel like in terms of like the teams, that have the most to gain from this specific draft, we in the top 5, top 3, probably. There are a couple other teams that also have 2 picks in the first round, but just the way it's stacked up, we really can change or really get on a different trajectory after this weekend. Shout out to my guy J Boy, because usually when we have these conversations, the question is, can we develop these players, right? Like, are we? This is all just a moot point. And I would agree. He hasn't said it recently. If you're looking for the comment,
okay, I was trying to find it. Okay, yeah,
it was like at the top, like the beginning. Like it was one of the first comments. But he says it like every time that we talk about the draft, and I definitely understand that. And I hate to come back to AG, not a, but we have not seen people get better so far. But as like even if you are like in that J Boy camp of thinking, when we draft these people, it's not just for 1 year, it's not just for 2 years. We have them for a good while. So whether or not you believe in Aaron Glenn, is your right. But just know that, this weekend, that it's still a big deal because, Mike Tomlin can come in and turn this dude into whatever, so, yeah, because I know the anti-AG crowd is kind of like passing on everything this year, and I understand it. I get it. I would have fired AG 2 months ago, but this upcoming draft is a big deal regardless of how you feel about that.
That's a good way to put it.
Thank you.
So salute. So, Wudi, I don't know what else you want to say about this. We sort of addressed this at the beginning of the show, so I don't know if we're going to figure this out live on air or this is a more punt the conversation. But looking ahead, we previewed Ryan Roberts last week, which was awesome. Enjoyed both those shows, and we got a lot of really great responses. So thank you to the people that may have been introduced to Ryan Roberts for the first time. My first response to that is, where the hell have you been? But thanks for showing up eventually. Ryan Roberts is terrific, so you should follow him on his social media portals at Rise and Draft and the letter. But Wudi, what's the plan for draft day? I will be traveling day of to the draft, and there'll be a lot of hoopla going on. So I'm not sure what do we have a draft day plan? Is that something that's still TBD, and we'll figure it out for next Thursday?
As of today, I believe it's very TBD. We don't have anything concrete right now. Of course, obviously, travel is not a concrete thing. We got this time planned. Traffic, things.
Sure, right, yeah,
happen. But yeah, I mean, like we said, that's a huge day. I'm jealous. You're going to be there with our guys. So many. People that we love, are gonna be there in Pittsburgh, doing their thing. Shout out to Lou B, right in the circuit. He's doing his big things, So Lou B, Johnny Boy. Don't have anything concrete right now, but of course it's the biggest day, so we're gonna try to see what can be done content wise. But we will be, chilling on Tuesday, and this upcoming Thursday we still working with that spreadsheet, because again, we've been saying names nonstop, but now it's time to shorten the list to who the Jets are actually looking at. Like let's look at like actual people that can get drafted. And I wish I said that to Boy Green, because then he wouldn't have
Dan
spent number one on Dan I don't even know, Atari or whatever his name was, but that's we looking straight at who the Jets are looking at, and we're gonna be working with that spreadsheet later this week as well.
So I can't wait. That'll be on Thursday, folks, at 3:00. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I got to dip. I got to go cover some baseball, baby. One of my million jobs. I just picked up some new jobs this week. More details to come on that, which is exciting, but should be a lot of fun. Wudi, brother, we'll see you Thursday for sure. We'll be here at 3:00 live. It should be a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Appreciate you. Appreciate every single person in the chat. Come on now. Just nothing but love, nothing but gratitude. we all want the same thing, even though, we all have different ideas of how to get there. But just, keep that in mind when, we're all talking to each other in the chat.
100%. Yeah, let's show some respect. I'm cool if we have disagreements. That's what it's all about. We should be disagreeing and having different thoughts, but let's make sure we keep it respectful. Make sure, do me and Wudi a favor if you're watching live or after the fact, like that video. We have over 200 people in the room across our social media platforms, plus everything Wudi's bringing over from Take Flight Talk and his Instagram. So that's 200 plus. All right, here on the program. Make sure you guys like the video and hit subscribe. We're 3 subscribers away from 8,550. So we'll see what kind of pop and everything else keeps coming. And we want to try to get our buddy Wudi, coming up for 500. That's what we want. We want to make it rain from high above, and we'll see if we can. Appreciate y'all. See ya.